The reality is that very few people are actually game changers. So as an individual, how do you know if you are indeed a game changer?
When we've talked to people about the characteristics of game changers, one of the things that comes through consistently is that, as we're repeating ourselves here, but that notion of obsessive imagination. Now, people listening to this, if they've ever had that moment where they've woken up at 4 o'clock in the morning, thinking about any aspect of their lives, whether it's from baking a cake to transforming their business, and they're obsessed with an idea that they need to convert into reality in some way and won't give up on that idea, then they have the potential to be game changers in our view, because those are the qualities that define them. Now, our stats suggest that in the corporate world, game changers are seen in what is it, 10% of the population?
Yeah, so it was over 70% said that less than 11% of their organisation, and actually half of those that through the study said that less than 5% were actually game changers in their organisation.
But we have to assume that that is an underestimate, because these are the folk who manifest some characteristics in a tangible way. We don't know at the moment what the population is that have the potential to gain change in their world.
Yeah, that's a great point. So to respond to that, how then can a game changer harness that potential?
Well, what we've noticed, which is part of the theory, is that most of the game changers that we identify and are popular have done so in very start-up creative environments, their own environments. So the environment is particularly important where they thrive. And so my question is that these individuals, my response is that these individuals, I don't believe, are being spotted or harnessed through traditional corporations or traditional organisations. We did a presentation at a kick-off for an engineering organisation, and they understood the concept, they loved the concept, and they actually agreed with everything that was pretty much everything that we were saying and found it very exciting. But the reality was that they looked at a Google or a Facebook or a newer organisation that has the ability to identify these individuals, and when they looked inwardly back at their organisation, they just thought it was impossible. There was no way that they'll be able to enable these people to thrive. So certainly an environment is an important point.
I agree with that. I mean, it's in some ways reminiscent of Tom Peters talking about creativity over a decade ago and saying that actually there's creativity within many of us that's channeled into activities outside of work. And that's probably going to be the same with game changers, that those folk out there with obsessive imagination focus it on their garden or cooking or other activities outside of the corporate world. So corporations lose out on those qualities. I think it's important to note that this research goes beyond, doesn't it? It reminds us of some of the clients I've worked with down the years, with lots of creative folk who generate lots of good ideas, but as the saying goes, there are no prizes for good ideas, you have to convert them. And so imagination without obsession fails, an obsession without imagination, I don't know where that ends up.